This is NDTV. And you're watching Ndtv-Hindu.
The Madras High Court sets 4 weeks' time for the state government to respond to a PIL that the government discretionary quota was misused. The Indian Coast Guard stops 3 Lankan boats with 15 men aboard for illegally fishing in Indian waters. The United Nations scoops out war crime findings by the Sri Lankan government and the LTTE in a panel report. Ban Ki-moon waits before announcing an inquiry. DMK spokesperson says ties with Congress will top tomorrow's high-level meet, adds that Kannimozhi will emerge blameless.
She will prove that she has nothing to do with the issues concerned.
The Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry sits down with the Enforcement Directorate once again for questioning. The Union Territory falls under a heavy security blanket. A biography on Jayalalitha is stalled by the Madras High Court after a petition is filed by the AIADMK Supremo herself over false and defamatory facts in it. The men in khaki take to the classrooms for a sensitization on the menace of human trafficking at the city's police academy. And at the second Norway International Festival, it's raining awards and honours for director Radha Mohan and actors Vidharth and Anjali. Welcome to Headlines Now. I'm Evelyn Matthew. 8 on the clock and plenty of buzz tonight. Let's wait no more and get you the rest of the top stories this hour. Suresh Kalmari is attacked in court with a slipper as he arrives for a hearing. Court hands him 8 days in police custody. Can an 8-kilometer hole keep the Jaitapur nuclear plant safe? The Ministry of Earth Sciences is drilling a hole to forecast far-off earthquakes. The railways say Arunima's story about being pushed off a train does not match the evidence. Could she have lied? The Prime Minister Sonia Gandhi and LK Advani paid their last respects to Sai Baba at Puttaparthi, the spiritual leader's funeral to be held tomorrow. And trouble brews between BCCI and senior players. Reports now suggest that the board will not allow any to skip the Windies tour. Our top story tonight, the Madras High Court has ordered a notice to the state government in a public interest litigation seeking cancellation of plots and houses under the government discretionary quota in the last 10 years by the Tamil Nadu Housing Board. The allotments made by both the AIADMK and the DMK regimes are under the scanner. The petitioner had gathered the list of beneficiaries under the GDQ during the AIADMK regime, that was between 2001 and 2006, and the DMK regime between 2006 and 2011 through RTI applications. The Advocate General has been given 4 weeks' time to respond.
This writ petition has been filed by one advocate called Ziauddin. Mr. Vedantam Srinivasan, who is a senior advocate, appeared for me in this matter. We are saying that under the Housing Board Act, there is no provision for the government to exercise any discretion in allotment of plots. Therefore, government discretionary quota cannot be exercised just by way of a guideline or a government order. So we are challenging that part of the guidelines which enables the government to allot plots under the GDQ. So this is the basis of our case. We are also asking for cancellation of all the allotments done under the GDQ in the past 15 years, 20 years.
But allotment of plots under the GDQ has itself been scrapped recently, and the Tamil Nadu Governor Surjit Singh Barnala had made the announcement in his budgetary address. Here's what he said early this year.
The system of allotting houses and plots and the government discretionary quota in vogue for the past several years of Tamil Nadu Housing Board is being put to an end from today.
Moving on, even as the 45-day ban on fishing is being followed in the state, the Indian Coast Guard ship Sarang apprehended 3 Lankan boats off the Chennai coast. 15 fishermen were caught in the boats fishing illegally in Indian waters. The 3 boats were caught by the crew of Sarang while on patrol and brought to the Kasimedu fishing harbour. All 15 Lankan fishermen have been handed over to the police today. This is the 4th apprehension of Sri Lankan fishing vessels by the Coast Guard this year. But first, after the fishing ban came into effect on the 15th of April, the ban ends on the 29th of May.
Right now we are standing in the Kasimedu harbour at Chennai, and we have got these 3 Sri Lankan boats which have been apprehended by the Coast Guard ship Sarang. Coast Guard ship Sarang was on a routine deployment, and early morning yesterday they saw these Sri Lankan boats fishing in very close to Indian coast, about 125 nautical miles northeast of Chennai. The boats were challenged, stopped, and then they were boarded. After a brief encounter, the boats have been apprehended. The boats are containing 2 tons of fish, tuna primarily, and 15 crew members, 5 on each boat. The boats are being brought to this harbour today to be handed over to the local police for further legal action.
Now, the island nation of Sri Lanka, meanwhile, is back in the headlines for not very tasteful bit of news. In a panel report released by the United Nations, there are now allegations of war crimes committed in Sri Lanka that were supposedly during the final stages of war. There are substantial allegations about the LTTE that suggest that civilians were used as a human buffer and even killing civilians so as to flee the control of the banned outfit. At some times, there was widespread shelling, and at other times, there was also denial of humanitarian assistance. One of the main recommendations by the panel was that the Sri Lankan government should respond to these allegations by initiating an effective accountability process, beginning with hardcore investigations. However, the UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon now requires the nation's consent or a decision from member states to launch such an international investigation mechanism into allegations of possible war crimes. In the wake of this report, PMK Chief Ramados has urged the international community to ensure that Sri Lankan President Mahinda Rajapaksa be tried and punished by the International Court of Justice. He urged the Union government to snap all diplomatic and trade ties with Sri Lanka to show the world that it was concerned about the ethnic Tamil population in the neighbouring country. Now, after an entire session of high-tension drama and voices of opposition parties raised after the second charge sheet in the 2G case was filed yesterday for the ruling DMK party, it now all boils down to a high-level meeting of all of the DMK's top brass tomorrow. The party honchos will discuss the course of action after Rajya Sabha MP and Karunanidhi's daughter Kannimozhi's name appeared in the supplementary charge sheet on the 2G scam. However, the Chief Minister's wife, Dayalu Ammal, has not been named in the charge sheet. Kannimozhi is scheduled to appear in court on the 6th of May. After Jayalalitha's fiery comeback at the DMK for the mess over the 2G scam, it's now the turn of her ally and partner, the Summer polls, to rub salt into the wounds. The DMDK's chief, Vijay Kant, has asked why Dayalu Ammal was left out in the charge sheet filed by the CBI. Meanwhile, putting away all speculation for a while, the DMK's spokesperson, TKS Elangovan, has said that a decision on the DMK Congress combined will be finalized in the big sitting tomorrow. He also added that Kannimozhi will prove her innocence to all who've had their doubts about her reputation.
See, first, that was explained earlier, and she will prove that she has nothing to do with the issues concerned. It's a regular business deal, and we have time and again stated that it is a regular business deal, that's all, nothing more to it.
Right. So there are rumors now that DMK may not be very happy with the Congress, and there might be withdrawal of some MP support from the UP. Is that true?
That the party high-level committee is meeting tomorrow. We will discuss various aspects of the issue and decide on that.
Moving to the ongoing investigation underway at Puducherry, a team of 4 officials from the Enforcement Directorate were in the Union Territory questioning the Lieutenant Governor Iqbal Singh. Mr. Singh will be leaving Puducherry for Chennai with the ED officials accompanying him. But police presence will be ensured in the region for the next 2 days in the wake of potential security threats. Heavy police presence were also seen earlier in the day when opposition parties chose to protest against the governor. Mr. Singh is being investigated for his alleged links with Hassan Ali, believed to be the biggest tax evader in India. The governor's role in granting Ali a passport is under the CBI scanner, and so far, Mr. Singh has maintained that he did so on a request made by a Congress leader in Bihar. Up ahead on the bulletin, joining the little ones and their camps this summer are the men in khaki taking classes for a subject in their own beat.